Well, this certainly came out of nowhere. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the global lifestyle brand that is revolutionizing the landscape of men's grooming. With the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, they've taken grooming precision to a whole new level with their next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads, now with an upgraded trimmer blade and interchangeable foil blade for enhanced performance. This is building off the excellence of the Lawnmower 4.0, so these upgraded blades mean business. First, the upgraded trimmer blade features a longer, wider, and rounded teeth that cut through hair with ease. It's tough on hair, yet incredibly gentle on skin. So say goodbye to those endless passes. It's all about getting it right the first time. And now it's time to unleash the hidden treasure, the foil blade. Crafted to transcend the boundaries of your typical trim achieved with the trimmer blade, this foil blade is designed to leave you with a finish that is irresistibly sleek and utterly bare. You start your session using the trimmer blade, then easily pop it off, then attach the foil blade to get to skin level. Think of it as a grooming tag team match. It's basically having two different trimmers for the price of one, so it's a win-win. On the Lawnmower 5.0, there's also a larger LED light. And the LED light also includes an innovative aspect recognizing the diversity of skin tones. And it's still waterproof. Rain or shine, it's trimming time. So head over to Manscaped.com and get your hands on the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra today. When you use my promo code ThatDudeinBlue, you'll get 20% off plus free international shipping at checkout. That's 20% off plus free shipping with promo code ThatDudeinBlue at Manscaped.com. So at the Tokyo Motor Show, or now the Japan Mobility Show, not the greatest name, Honda decided out of completely nowhere to give us a taste of what's ahead. And like I said, kind of out of nowhere. It wasn't a full big unveil by any means. That's why there's like no good video footage of this thing anywhere. Just kind of people walking around with a stick. You know, there's no big unveil like we had with the Supra or the Z or the BRZ, because this is a concept, but it's still pretty promising to an extent. And with Honda celebrating its 75th anniversary, they unveiled the Honda Prelude Concept. So today, let's talk about the Honda Prelude Concept and how it looks, the legacy of the Honda Prelude and how it kind of fits in the car enthusiast community, and well, the car's power plant, which we'll get to later. I mean, Honda did deliver on the Civic Type R, and they did bring back the Integra to mixed reception, which, by the way, Acura, I am so sorry that I was so mean about the Integra, but I did drive the Acura Integra Type S, which I have a review of pretty soon, and Honda's just trying to get more buzz around the enthusiast market. Well, this time around, thankfully, this means that Honda might actually give us the sports coupe that everybody wanted, rather than the four-door like the Integra. I mean, there's been S2000 rumors for years, but I can kind of see this one probably being more likely. Honda's definitely been trying to get some hype around their sporty sports cars. Honda's been trying to get some hype around some sports cars enthusiasts, and that they want to bring back some more of that special sauce Honda had in the 90s especially. Because you and I both know that when you think of Honda sports cars, you think of VTEC, high revving 4-cylinder engines, and kind of a more raw experience. Even though they weren't the fastest things in the world stock, they were still a ton of fun to drive. But with Honda trying to kind of come back into this world, it kind of reminds me of Toyota. Toyota probably has the best comeback of going from a amazing sports car brand to a boring car brand back to a behemoth in the sports car industry. I mean, they had literally 3 sports cars or enthusiast cars in less than 10 years, all out at the same time. I mean, even their Camry looks pretty cool. In fact, I think the new Camry is gonna look pretty cool too. So Toyota, from the Japanese/European baby of the Supra and everything, they kind of got it going on right now when it comes to that market. And with Nissan, with the Nismo Z just coming out as well, I'm sure Honda kind of feels like, not pressure, but they kind of like wanting that shove of the community to be like, okay, it's time to start releasing sports cars again, not just the Civic Type R. So the Prelude Concept, what do I think of it? I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think it looks pretty good. I like the front of it quite a bit. I think it's my favorite part of the car. The rear is, I'd say I'm like 85 to 90% there. I'm sure if I saw it in person, like most modern sports cars, I would probably dig it. But I think the thing that really helps the rear end is that duckbill spoiler they got going on. It's a nice little sharp edge on top to kind of finish out that rounded back. So it's not just like a rolling egg going down the road. We got the kind of the Taycan Turbo S kind of taillight vibe in the back with that single bar. A lot of the EVs like doing that almost synthwave style single taillight in the back, which I always kind of dig. I think it looks pretty cool. I think the headlight design has a lot of character, and I kind of like how the headlight starts like going off on its own and aims towards the Honda emblem, but I kind of like the way it comes up, arcs over, and then finishes out the headlight on the bottom. I think it's a pretty neat look. There's not a lot of cars that kind of have a look like that right now. And best of all, it has a really elegant, good-looking roof line because it's a coupe. Honda knows how to make a good-looking sports coupe. They always have. Also, I think for the concept unveil, going with a nice white to show the contrast of all kind of the black accents, along with the blue brake calipers and the nice set of wheels, I think it's a great color combo to kind of show each element, and also it's just tastefully done. I always love when factory cars have wheels that I like so much that I'm on the fence about changing them, because when you're a car enthusiast and you want to modify cars, you almost feel like you're obligated to change the wheels even if the wheels look good anyway. You know, you have this feeling of like, but then it won't be like mine though. But yeah, I always love when a car company makes a good looking factory wheel. Perfect example, E92 M3. Those suckers looked chef's kiss. Those things looked amazing. On a quick tangent, this weekend on October 28th, I would love for you guys to come out to Caffeine Octane Linear Raceway for Cosmic Drift. It's a drift event I've been planning for almost 2 years, and the entire place is going to be lit up with LED RGB with concert visuals, lasers, and all that good stuff. We're actually this close to reaching our driver's cap, so if you want to drive, you should pre-register right now. And if you're not coming to drive, just come hang out. It's gonna be an amazing time. But here is the big issue with the Honda Prelude Concept. It's electric. All right, look, we all know that times are changing and everybody's pushing the EV market. That's what everybody wants. I cannot tell you how many press events I go to and all they're talking about is electrification. That's all they talk about. And I'm over here like, oh my God, why? And look, I think EVs have their place in the car industry. I completely understand them. I think they're great for city commuting and also short commutes to work and stuff like that. One, we all know they suck to road trip in. They take forever. They like double your trip time. But that's not what the Prelude's probably trying to go for. It's trying to be a sports car while also being an EV, which we have seen work with the Taycan Turbo S, which is $200,000. And also the new Hyundai Ioniq 5N is trying to make EVs fun and also trying to add kind of paddle shifters to simulate the paddle shifting experience, to try and have something. The thing about EVs is 90% of the time you drive them, you go, yep, check mark, it's fast, it made a cool little Jetson noise, and that's about it. You know, that's pretty much it. At an event I did recently, I drove like 5 EVs in a row, and none of them I got personal attachment to. That's what is gonna be the big struggle with Honda, is trying to get people to drive this Prelude and really fall in love with it like they did with the old H-Series cars and Civics and everything else. Because the soul of a Honda sports car is the high revving combustion engine. Even with the Honda Civic Type R, it didn't have that like K-Series scream, but it still felt like a Honda, right? It's still, for the most part, you could tell the DNA was in there. With an electric Honda sports car, I don't know if the DNA is gonna feel like it's still there. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. So in other words, this is how I think it's gonna go down if the Prelude comes into production. I think a bunch of people are going to like it, kind of no matter what, because of this line that I see time and time again in this industry. When a car company builds a sporty car but it's divisive. The saying is, I actually have it written down, I'm really thankful the car and the name and legacy is back, but I wish it was so-and-so instead. I wish it was like this, but hey, at least it's back, right? That's usually kind of industry consensus of, I mean, at least they're still building sports cars, which is true. It is. But here's the thing about the Prelude in general, and it comes to its legacy. It's always like the one everybody overlooked. Everybody who owned a Prelude loved a Prelude. But the problem was, in the enthusiast community, if you were going to build a Honda, basically what everybody would say is, if I'm going to build a Honda, why wouldn't I build the lightest one? You know, the EG hatches, the EK hatches, those were just a lighter chassis and a lighter platform. So a lot of people went towards those. But I have a soft spot for the Prelude because, one, it's a little bit different than its brothers. At the same time, I always loved the 4th gen and how it had the crazy 4-way steering. My friend Matt Holder, shout out to Matt, he had a 4th gen that I have a ton of memories in, and it even had a digital dash and the 4-way steering and all this kind of cool stuff. It is a perfect first sports car for a lot of people. Plus, it's where I learned about the H series engine, which back in the day was the big block of Hondas. The H22 was a 2.2 liter. Oh man, really rocking the world with 2.2 liters of displacement. But that's how it was seen at the time. And I actually recently drove a 5th gen Prelude for my first time ever. And this one was actually very period correct because it had a piggyback on it, like an old piggyback system to tune it, but it was a little bit more spacious, a little bit more room. And I think if you take the 5th gen and put like a body kit on it and stuff like that, not only does it bring you back to the early 2000s, it has that nice long look with that wheelbase, and it's kind of elegant looking. You can make the 5th gen look really good. But once again, why would you build that when you could build a hatch? That was the problem. And speaking of the H series, Kyle and the guys at Boosted Boys really proved how good the H series could be with their 1st gen Routacy build and stuff like that. The H series had potential, just not a ton of people chose it, it seems like, for force induction over the B series or even the K series later. Anyways, it's a concept. It looks good. I'm sure if it goes into production, it'll probably drive really, really good. I don't think it'll be bad, you know? I think it'll drive good, but it's more about the emotional attachment. I think that's gonna be the biggest challenge for the Honda Prelude if it becomes a thing. I think it's a good looking car. I think it's a good looking concept, and it also looks like a concept car that could actually be built. When you go to a car show and you see concept cars, half the time you're like, that's never going to be built, ever. So what do you guys think about the Honda Prelude Concept EV? Put it down in the comment section below. And on that note, I typically upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Hey David, I'm at this spot. What's going on with this drift event?
Look up. It's about time you showed up.